Hello! In this week's video, I'm going to use my free will to make herbaceous gummies. Disclaimer, I do not advertise or promote any of this. I'm just an adult with free will and I want to experience life to the fullest, and I'm here to experiment things so that you don't have to. Or if it goes well, you know that I've done it and I am a representation of all humans, so you can do it too. No, I'm just kidding. I like doing things myself. I got this silicone gummy case and I've got some agar-agar, which is like natural gelatin. So I want to try and make something fun. I'm gonna do like a super low dosage, which means that probably nothing will happen. Another disclaimer, I am a 34-year-old adult. My prefrontal cortex is fully developed as far as I know. I had an MRI not too long ago and my neurologist did not mention any problems on my brain, so that means it's safe to do. I don't know how I feel about posting this on the internet, but you know what? I love watching people do things they've never done before. I am in the safety of my own home. I'm not gonna taste anything right now. If I do taste anything, there will be a responsible adult to take care of me, being my partner. And I just want to see how edible gummies go, because drinking makes me really sick, and yeah, I enjoy the effects that certain things have on my brain. I do not need to justify myself to you. I'm an adult. I get to do adult things. First, I will measure my herbs with a coffee scale. We need to make like oil of some sort. So I'm not going to show you any of this. I'll show it to you when I put it in the thing, because I don't want to, I don't want to advertise anything, as I said. I'm going to chop it up because they said for better distribution and extraction, it needs to be in small pieces. And I'm going to use 1/4 cup of this old ass coconut oil that expired in, this is good until May 2026. We're still good. Oh yeah, a funny side effect that I get from dabbling with herbs is that I actually lose taste, so food is less exciting. I'm very excited about textures, but not tastes. Fun fact, another fun fact around that fun fact, during COVID, I had a teeny tiny of some herbs, and then I couldn't taste my food and I was freaking out, and I couldn't taste for like 24 hours. So I went to get a COVID test because I was sure I had COVID. Like, why else would I lose taste? And the COVID test came back negative. And then a couple weeks or months later, I had another, and the same thing happened. I had completely lost my sense of taste. And then we deduced with my partner that it was the herbs that, on the opposite scale of most people who get like really like crazy taste experiences, I lose my taste. I've got my 1/4 cup measuring cup, and I'm going to add some coconut oil to this. Smells great. For the gummies, I think I'm gonna make them raspberry and lemon. And if this works out, maybe in the future I'll get some citric acid to make them sour gummies. I don't know, I'm getting way too invested in this. I don't actually partake in any of this that much. Then I put my coconut oil in my little mixture. This basically needs to cook up in water for 2 hours, medium heat for 2 hours. I forgot to update you half an hour in, but it's been an hour and it's looking like this. Nothing crazy. I think it needs quite a bit longer. The videos I've seen are a lot darker. All right, my coconut oil has been cooking for 2.5 hours. So I turned that off. I bought some strawberries. I'm gonna get 250 grams of strawberries. I'm kind of making this up as we go, so I have yet to see anyone make gummies, special gummies with agar-agar. Cut these up and put them in a blender. Yes. Also, I've never seen anyone use real fruit to make these types of gummies. Am I making a lot of gummies? That is possible. I'll do the juice of whatever this amounts to. Wait, maybe let's not juice lemon next to my brand newly fixed phone. Ugh. Very strong, as you can tell. 50 grams of honey. Now for the fun part, I will be extracting my special potion in this jar, and I will be straining the bits with this matcha thing. Just give this a little smoosh. Going to avoid the urge to lick this. This is 44 grams. And I'm adding 45 grams of water. Puree. This rendered exactly 2 cups of liquid, which is perfection. For each cup of liquid, we use 1 teaspoon of agar-agar. 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. Bring that to a boil. Keep mixing, keep mixing, keep mixing. I thought I had made this very much not potent, but according to my recipe book, it seems to be quite potent. So now I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just gonna fill up these little things. Oh shit, missed the mark. Also, this syringe I'm using is something I stuffed up my nose when I had nose surgery, so I have cleaned it at some point. And then I think what I'll do is I'll let these dry. I'm gonna run out of space. I'm gonna put it in like a huge gummy and then just like cut it up to the size of these if these are the way to go. Yeah, there you go, simple math. Well, that holds exactly a syringe full. I really want to lick this, but I shouldn't. And now we wait. They're cooling in the fridge. These are mega gummies that I need to figure out later. But look at them. I think they're almost done. The cook here, it's kind of coming out. The internet is a wonderful and informative place. I managed to calculate how many milligrams of herbs I have per serving of gummy, and it says 2.4 milligrams. And I also found on the internet how much milligrams should I take to be buzzed, for instance, if I have a low tolerance according to my weight. And the suggested dose is 2.5 milligrams, so that works. The thing is, I've got these like giant ones that I'm gonna have to cut up and figure out because, yeah, those are like massive. The dosage makes sense because the amount I put in is like the herbs will consume for maybe a year or something like that. So for science, I guess, I will be consuming one of these bad boys. Here, let's take this one. 0.7 grams. Okay. I think it would be about 1 gram with all of this stuff in it. Wish me luck. That tastes great. That tastes great. It's so creamy. For science, I had a gummy. I have had 3 gummies in the span of like 3 hours or something like that, and very little effects. So the plan is, tomorrow, I'll have like 5 gummies and see what happens under adult supervision. Look at how the color of the gummies match the color of the silicone mold perfectly. If that's not satisfying, I don't know what is. Now is day 2 of trying to yoink myself into another dimension. Funny texture, but I like it. I could eat all of these. I took 4 of these an hour and a half ago, and I don't feel much of anything, so I'm just gonna say fuck it and eat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been another hour, and I'm like 15 gummies in at this point, and still nothing's happened. So for the sake of this video, I think I'm just gonna eat this whole thing. Is this stupid? Maybe, but you can't die from this. And it's almost bedtime, so. We're thinking at this point that I might have done something wrong and that's why they're not working, so this will be the test. Very weird texture when you eat the whole thing like that. You know, you gotta do it for the internet. My dog is staring at me because I'm a freak. Look at her. It has been several days since I took the massive gummy puck, and as expected, nothing happened. And I did some research. The reason is the magic effects were not released into our little potion because it was cooked at 100 degrees rather than the 110 needed for the magic effects. So now I'm left with like 400 nothing gummies. But the internet says it's also like a natural anti-inflammatory and just like good for calming and anxiety. So I've just been munching on them throughout the day. And I did have some friends try them just for shits and giggles. And they were like, interesting. Nobody likes the texture apart from me, kind of. Maybe I'm just gaslighting myself into liking the texture. I'm not sure. What I do know is that this didn't work and I need to try again. Why? I don't know. I can't settle on this failure. But for now, this is the end of the video. I appreciate you joining this journey. I'm sorry if it was disappointing, and you're welcome if it was entertaining. Please come back for more. Next week, I will be learning how to use a circular saw from a 4-minute video on YouTube. Forgot to mention that I made them out of agar-agar in hopes of like having them natural and stuff. But also I wanted to freeze them because I'm never gonna consume like 18,000 gummies in like what, 2 weeks? Except agar-agar has like non-freezing capability because if you take it out of the freezer, it just like turns back to water. Anyway, I didn't know that, so I guess it's good they didn't work. So yeah, I'm going to have to use a completely different approach if I decide to do this again. Okay, bye for real. And thank you.